Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Troll Assault here, and today we're going to be talking about the World War II private beta and 10 things that I don't like about it. So to start things off, I just want to say I don't hate this beta. I do think it was a really good beta, and like I said in my previous video, which I will link right here, I said that I do think it is taking a step in the forward direction towards making the Call of Duty community come back to the way it used to be. But anyway, coming in at number 10, one thing that I really did not like about this beta was the time that it took to get from the end of a match to the post-game lobby. It literally took around 30 seconds to a minute to get to the post-game lobby, and even when you do get there, you only get around 15 to 20 seconds to edit your classes, and that's just not enough time. Every time I would get into the post-game lobby and I had those 15 to 20 seconds, I literally had to rush every time to try to make sure I had the right class for the next game. And if I wanted to go through the perks, I just didn't have enough time. I actually just had to accept what I already had and just went into a game. And I don't change my classes all the time, but some games I do need to change my classes after it, and I just don't have enough time to do that. Coming in at number 9 is the social system. To me, the social system needs work. When you invited a friend or anyone else to your game, it didn't tell you when they were in your lobby, and the only way to see that they're actually in is if you're already on the social tab. But for example, what if you're editing your classes and your friend is joining and you don't know? The only way that you know is if you see it on the social tab or they tell you. And what if a random person joins your game and you just don't know about it because you can't see it unless you're actually on the tab? I know it's not that big of a deal, but all the other CODs used to tell you when someone else would join your lobby, including your friends or just random people. Coming in at number 8 is the main menu. The menu, although it is temporary, it was just terribly laid out, and I didn't like the tab system where in the old Call of Duties it would literally all be on the left side and you could just see everything right there. But in this, you have to tab over and you're not able to see everything in one sitting. For example, if you're in the game and you try to go and look at your minimap, you actually have to hit start and then R1 on the PS4 or RB on the Xbox One to actually tab over and look at the map. Now, I know it's not that big of a deal, but imagine if there's like a recon plane up in the air, you won't be able to see that map fully unless you tab over in your start menu. Coming in at number 7 are the score streaks, specifically recon plane, bombardment, and the paratroopers. To me, the recon plane is just too weak. And what I mean by that is when it's in the air, it's too close and you can literally use one full SMG clip to take it out, or you can just shoot it with a sniper like 4 to 5 times and it will just blow up. Like, I think it needs a lot more health than that. It also needs to be moved further away. And a lot of these on the list are really not that big of a deal, but when you think back to like the other Call of Duties, the UAVs would be really high up in the air and they would be kind of hard to see unless you are actually looking for it and not focusing on the game. But in this game, it was just in open view anywhere on the map because it was just so close to the ground level. Now, to talk about the bombardment and the paratroopers, I don't think that the paratroopers are terrible. It is kind of cool to see that they are in AI form, and instead of being like dogs from the older games, are actually soldiers that drop onto the field and they actually help you kill other players. And I know that this form of AI is new to any Call of Duty game. It's just they're not that good in my opinion. They just don't do a lot of work. And then you have the bombardments. To me, the bombardments are just terrible. Every time I call them in for as long as it takes to get them, I should be able to get a lot of kills from it if I call it right over the red dots that are on the map. And for the most part, every time that I call them over, I just get hit markers on hit markers on hit markers, and I don't actually get the kills. And if I do get a kill, it's literally 1 out of like 4 to 5 people that are standing in one spot. Coming in at number 6 is the weapon balancing. Like I said in my previous video, I don't think that the guns are really unbalanced. It's just that the shotguns and the pistols and the snipers, in my opinion, are just terrible. I think that the shotguns need to get a little bit buffed, but specifically the M30 shotgun, which is the double barrel, because if you don't have that rifle bullet attachment, I'll link it up here if you didn't see this video. If you don't have that attachment, it literally sucks. It's just terrible. You just get hit markers even if you're barrel stuffing someone. And for the snipers, such as the Commonwealth, it's just hit marker, hit marker if you're not aiming directly at the head. But the worst of all out of everything are the pistols. They are just awful. These pistols literally are just so inconsistent. They don't have like any damage. It takes so many bullets to kill someone with them. For example, the only way that you can actually get some kills is if you have the akimbo attachment on the 1911s, because my friend had the M1911 akimbo on the beta, and you could literally hit L2 and R2 or LT and RT once at the same time right next to someone. It has to be right next to someone and you will get the kill, but it has no range even if it's just a single gun and you can't do anything with it. Coming in at number 5, this one is definitely not that big of a deal, but it's the stick and move is not in the game. And what I mean by that is it was a button layout that you could use where your right stick, if you click it down, it would let you jump. And that's just not in this game. And the reason for that is obviously because it was mainly used to help you aim while you're on a jetpacking game such as Infinite Warfare or Black Ops 3. You could use that to jump as well as aim while you're jumping. And I know that you don't really need it on World War II because it's boots on the ground, but for people that did use it on Black Ops 3 or Infinite Warfare, it is really helpful. And I still would like to use it because me personally, I use stick and move all the time back on Black Ops 3 and I just don't have it anymore. And now I had to switch back. And like I said, it's not that big of a deal to me, but I have been getting used to it on Black Ops 3 and the other jetpacking games that I'm sure I'm not the only one that wants this back in the game. Coming in at number 4 is the shell shock. And what I mean by that is whenever someone throws a grenade at you, whether it be a teammate or an enemy, your screen literally gets frozen for the longest amount of time. I feel like it's too long. I don't think that it should be taken out of the game, but I do think that it needs to be nerfed down a little bit. I think you're just frozen for too long of a period of time, and that's not really that big of a deal to me. What really kills it is that your teammates can throw a grenade near you and it can still shell shock you. Like, what if you're playing and you're on the battlefield and you're shooting an enemy or a group of enemies and they don't know that you flanked them or something like that, and your teammate like throws a grenade over there just like either randomly or purposely, and it shell shocks you and you're frozen and you can't do anything, and then while you're shooting at the enemies they turn on you. That just kind of, to me, ruins the game a little bit. So hopefully they fix it so it's a little bit toned down or your teammates can't do that to you at all. Coming in at the number 3 spot is that you can't put silencers on anything except SMGs, because back in the other games you could put a suppressor on basically anything. I understand having it on a shotgun is not right. I don't think that should be in the game, but I do feel like maybe you should be able to have a suppressor on something like an assault rifle, because you were able to in every other COD. And I know that suppressors are only right now for SMGs, but hopefully they do add it to the assault rifles just because that's what we were able to do in other Call of Duties. And I know this one's different from all of them, but I still feel like it is a necessity to have a suppressor on an assault rifle. Coming in at number 2 is the battle chatter, and to me, I don't think that it is necessary to take it out of the game because it is crucial, but I do think it needs to be toned down a bit, just because you'll just be playing and then randomly, instead of hearing like footsteps or anything, you'll just hear some random soldier start screaming about some nonsense. Like, sometimes it's not even right. Sometimes it's like, oh, enemy over by the tank or something like that, and you look over there and there's just no one there. It's like, it's really delayed in a sense, but at the same time, it's also too much. There's too much yelling, and I know that this is really, again, not that big of a deal, but as a longtime Call of Duty fan, I truly feel that it needs to be toned down a bit. And I'm sure a lot of people that played any other Call of Duty and is a longtime COD fan knows what I'm talking about. And especially if you have played this beta, you know exactly what I mean by there's just too much yelling. Just for example, when the beta comes back out this weekend on September 1st, just play it and listen. Just listen for the random screaming and just see like how inaccurate it can be. And also, if it is accurate, it's still too much. There's too much screaming. It can be like a soldier saying, oh, over there, or he's over there, or enemy behind you, or something like that. And I just think it's too much because it gives up your position way too easily. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Just let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about that. And finally, coming in at number 1 are the incendiary shells for shotguns. And I don't specifically mean the actual shells itself. I mean, when you spawn in with a shotgun and you have the incendiary rounds equipped, it spawns you in with those already on, and then you can toggle it around to change it from incendiary rounds to normal shots. I think that you should spawn in with the normal shots and then toggle it on and off if you want to use the incendiary rounds. I think it shouldn't be incendiary rounds you spawn with and then you can toggle it. I think it should be the other way around, so that way you have to make the decision before you go into battle. And like I said, I am not making this video to just complain about the stuff. I am going to be uploading another video on 5 to 10 things that I like about the beta. This one is just 10 things that I don't like about it, but there's a lot to like about it, which is why I'm making this video, to show what I don't like about it. But it's not about complaining. It's literally about just my opinions and what I think. And also, I want to know what you guys think. So comment down below and what you think about my list. If you have any other things that you don't like about this game, or if you have any ideas for improvement or anything like that, just let me know and tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, stuff like that. But like I said, this video wasn't made just to complain to the developers of the stuff I don't like. It was just made for the purpose of explaining the things that I do think need improvement in the game. And the only reason I made this is because it's a beta. So obviously there's good stuff about it and there's some flaws to it. It's a beta. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like down below on the video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter to stay updated for when I upload. Usually it's around 12 p.m. or noon Eastern Standard Time, but sometimes it can be late. So make sure you're following me on Twitter to stay updated. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.